Ang bahaging ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Philippine Sports Commission.
Looking for the best deals? Head to Robinson's Department Store, your one-stop shop for daily essentials and unbeatable savings. Don't miss out. Shop now.
Welcome home, first of all. Let's talk a little bit about your Asian Winter Games experience. How was it for you?
Oh my goodness, it was truly such an amazing experience. Like it genuinely felt like I was like at the Olympics, which I mean it kind of was because it was like the Asian Olympic Games. Yeah, the venues were so cool. I was able to watch our speed skating team win the gold. So overall it was 10 out of 10.
All right. And what was it like for you personally to walk into a venue like that, not as a spectator, but as a competitor?
I mean, there was definitely a lot of added pressure. I didn't realize like how big of a competition it was until I got there, and everything from the buses to literally the whole entire hotel was decked out in Harbin 2025. And then I think it started to kind of like settle, and I was like, oh, like this is a big competition. So I just wanted to, try and keep everything the same as I do. I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. So.
Okay. What were your goals heading to Harbin?
Well, one of my biggest goals was to just take one thing at a time and to not rush everything. Like, because I think recently, like my recent competitions, like before Continental Harbin 2025, I think that I really just needed to work on taking one thing at a time and, trusting my training and being confident. And I mean, I worked so hard going into these two competitions. So
I see. How do you explain to kids who are, very young and very young in the sport, what kind of commitment and effort is going to take to reach international status?
Well, honestly, I think it really has to come from them. I can't explain that or, I can show them kind of like the dedication that I put into this sport. And I mean, that's all I can really do. It really has to come from them. They want to have that drive and they want to have, all the experience that they can get to the highest level.
How do you cope, let's say, with parents who are, putting pressure on their kids to, well, in some ways be like you?
Well, I mean, I think that's with all skating parents. I think that's just, they want their kid to do their best. They want their kid to be the best. So I understand that. My mom was definitely like that when I was younger, but, she's kind of eased off because I told her like, Mom, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, she tries to coach me sometimes. And I'm like, Mom, like, let me do it. Like, trust me. And then I think once the results finally started to show, I think she was like, oh, okay, like, she knows what she's doing.
Last time we talked, you were charting the path that you're going to take to try to make it into the Winter Olympics last year. How far along are you, and what else needs to happen?
So the competition that I really need to work hard towards is I think I said last time it was going to be in Germany, but this year they're changing it to I think Beijing, and that's the last Olympic qualifier of the year. And I think you have to, if the countries already don't have their spots taken, like if they get like the countries that do already have all of their spots, then they'll move it down. So I think it just depends on what the other countries get. Usually it's top 7, but we'll see how that turns out, because it goes different, because if they've already qualified and have taken their spots, then they can't anymore. So then it goes to the next person below and so on.
So how close are you?
I think I have a pretty good chance, honestly. I think what I need this season is my triple Lutz triple toe,
Okay.
which I haven't competed in a few years. But I think that's what is, setting me apart from all of the other, really talented elite skaters that are competing. And I think honestly, if I can do that jump and also just make sure that I can land everything else in my program, I think I have a pretty good chance.
What goes through your mind when you're in the middle of a routine? Are you like constantly checking yourself, constantly criticizing yourself? What's going through your mind when you're competing?
Honestly, I tell myself like I always have to go pee really bad when I'm on the ice. Like
Okay.
I'm always like I have to go to the bathroom so bad. That's like I'm telling you that like genuinely honestly, but also like a good example is when I was in Harbin, I missed my first jump and I immediately I'm like in my head I'm like, oh darn, like I really need to lock in and I really need to just try every single jump. And that's when you're just like, you have to just trust your body completely and trust your training, because if you're thinking about it too much, then your body is like, it's going to freak out and it doesn't know what to do. So you really just have to like, you just have to tell yourself like, you can do these jumps and you can land them. If you landed it before, like you just really just have to trust yourself.
Okay. How do you compensate for something like that when, let's say, you miss a move or you don't land a jump? How do you compensate? Do you make changes in the routine itself?
Usually, like if I miss a combination jump, so that's 2 jumps in a row, and if I miss the first jump and then I can't do the second jump because it won't count, I will usually like I'm thinking in my head, oh, okay, I have to put a combo on this jump so I can get the points for it. And then if I miss that, then I have to think about, oh, where can I put these different combos in my program so I can still get the amount of points that I need.
How do you construct a routine? How long does it take for this to come together? And how do you know what will appeal to the judges?
So usually it starts off by picking the music. And then after you pick the music, you have to get it cut. And so I did that this year with my best friend Joe Klein. He represents Team USA.
Okay.
And we very meticulously like picked out like what time to start with, and then what time in the music we wanted to end with, and then a new part of the music that we wanted to start with, and then so on and so forth with like the exact times. And then after that, you talk to your choreographer. Thankfully, Joe Klein, my best friend also, again, he choreographed my long program for me. So I'm really grateful for him. And we already kind of knew what jumps we wanted in my program. Usually I like to keep it the same so I don't get messed up. So my planned program content is usually the same. Usually if we have to, we'll move like a spin in a different place or a jump in a different place, but usually the order of it stays the same. And then after we choreograph it, we check with my main coach, Tammy Gamble, to see if it's okay. And then I can start running my programs. The same goes for the short program as well.
Okay. How close to a competition do you make final adjustments and final changes in your routine?
Usually we don't really make any adjustments. We want to be practicing the same elements as much as we can just so we can make it as consistent as possible. I think that that's really, really important for being able to get a routine done. But like if anything does need to be changed, then we have to do it at least 2 weeks before.
Okay. So you can get into the groove of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I asked you this last time. On this trip, is your mom with you?
No, she's not, sadly.
Okay, so she's loosening the reins a little bit, huh?
Yeah, she is. She's booked and busy. She's a working mama.
Okay. How about the fundraising campaign you started a few months ago? How is it coming along?
It's going good. I've been really grateful for everybody who's donated. Sorry, I can't speak. Donated for helping me reach my goal. As I always say, figure skating is not a cheap sport, and with all the traveling that I do, we have to pay out of pocket for it. So like traveling across the country like every few months is not a cheap activity, and also having to pay for coaches and skates and boots and blades and all of that, everything that comes along with figure skating. So I'm just really, really grateful to have people who, you know, want to support me.
How can we here in the Philippines support you in your campaign to make it to Milano?
I have a website that's on my Instagram. That's sofiaiceskates.com, and people can donate money to my GoFundMe to help me pay for all of my lessons and everything that comes with it.